Chapter 87. I found the tiny grains in the stone tiles I was kneeling upon highly interesting. Far more interesting in fact than the thought of how I had at least 2 kids on the way. Jake, get your ass up. We weren't sure how to bring it up before we started to show, but seeing as you aren't throwing a fit and just being overdramatic, we need to start planning on how to take care of these coming babies. Galatea said, not unkindly, but was still telling me to knock off the dramatics, making me pout. So, should I go ask Superman how to baby-proof a house from super babies? I asked dryly, and Galatea giggled as Raven tilted her head in thought before nodding. Yes, that would be a good idea. And the league, knowing you are settling down with kids, will also probably help get off your back more. Raven added, having talked to Galatea a good bit about our time on the Young Justice team and the upper-level Justice League. However, she didn't really understand how powerful they were, as Raven had spent little to no time on Earth. So you two are happy with this? I asked, making sure they weren't like against having the baby or something. Raven and Galatea shared a look, and at Raven and Galatea's words I was reminded that these people weren't human or had human cultures ingrained into them. With Raven speaking first. Well, it is soon in our courting, to say the least. But I don't dislike you, and I can feel the child absorbing the demonic power within me, so if anything, I am happy to have it and will raise it with the same love and care my mother gave me before she was forced to give me up. Oof, that bit about her mom stung, as Raven didn't seem to care much, but then again, her mother was forced to give her up. Then Galatea added on her thoughts and shrugged at the end. Hey, Wonder Woman made it clear that should we do that stuff there will be consequences, but maybe raising my own family would help me settle down, or whatever she said. Okay, so Raven actually wanted to have the child, and Galatea at this moment was just kind of ambivalent about it, really. I wonder if her thoughts will change when the cravings it starts kicking inside of her. Well, now what? I asked awkwardly as I flipped the auction invitation in my hands, gathering the girls' attention to it. Galatea and Raven shared a look before speaking unanimously. We are going to Themyscira for a baby shower. They said kind of loudly as their voices merged, and my face twitched as I raised up the invitation. Wait, none of you don't want to come with me to the auction? I asked, and the girls just rolled their eyes as they looked at me with a sadistic smile. Ho, and which one of us will you be taking, Jake? Will you be taking me, your lover of months who has stood by you for all that time? Or will you invite the new girl who you bent over and is calling you daddy? Galatea asked with an evil smile as she leaned towards me. For a moment I remained silent before I smiled, nodding to their wise words. Oh, Galatea, you are just so smart. Plus, taking Raven to see Themyscira would need to go introduce her there so she can fit in. I responded to Galatea's words in the least confrontational way possible, as she was right. Asking one of them when my invitation only allowed one guest would just piss the other off. Good man. Now we will also be taking Astrid with us, making this a full girls' night out, and thankfully you hadn't impregnated her either, or Astrid's small form with a bulging belly would be funny as hell. Do it. Galatea said mischievously, and Astrid burst out of my shadows with her arms already crossed over her chest. Mistress Galatea, I am not some slattern that you can use as a prop to laugh at, she yelled embarrassedly. But Galatea only raised an eyebrow and looked the fairy up and down before she spoke. But I already use you as a prop to jerk Jake off. With my hand even fitting around your whole chest and your body stretching to fit his length within you. What else would you be called if not a marital aid? As Astrid's face turned red in fury, I quietly stepped out of the room as Astrid began screaming at Galatea, who just laughed before Astrid loudly began mumbling, screaming as Galatea used the ultra-effective move of smothering the smaller woman in her huge breasts. As I stepped out of my castle, I looked down at the invitation for the auction, and I wondered if I could or even should invite someone to come with me. I wanted to invite Batman, but that bridge was kind of burnt to ashes with how I killed the Joker. And the Riddle, and Firefly, and possibly permanently killed that Solomon Grundy. Or could I try to rekindle our friendship? My thoughts of trying to rekindle my friendship with Batman then ran into a massive speed bump as I recalled the auction was going to be selling magically bound slaves that I couldn't free. And that Batman would try to bust the auction and not accomplish anything. Welp, looks like I am going to be the jackass who goes to the movies alone, basically. I snarked as I left my realm towards the Fey Marketplace. Please like and share this video to help more people hear it.